Now, so far in this window, all the headlines have been made by all the big money youth transfers that have went around and all the teams that have really jumped into the deep end of the transfer swimming pool this summer, right as soon as the window was open. But one team that's been slowly taking their time and been doing some quite brilliant business, and it's starting to get me a bit excited for what their prospects could look like this season, is Bournemouth. They've just signed Dean Huijsen, if that's how you say it, in from Juventus after having a really good year at Roma last year, but Jose Mourinho even calling him one of the best centre-backs in European football. Favre's signed, and now two things are about to happen for Bournemouth, which is where my interest becomes piqued. Solanke's heading out the door for 57 million quid, 30 million quid up front, which is, Bournemouth spent a lot of money on Solanke, but they're still going to book some significant profit onto the books for that one. And it looks like they're in advanced talks to bring in a new right back, to bring in Julian Araujo in from Barcelona, the former LA Galaxy player I know a thing or two about. In the video today, we'll be looking at Araujo, Huijsen, how the Bournemouth team actually looks. But the main thing I want to kind of look at in this video or try and understand is, what is the next move here for Tottenham? Andoni Iraola is quoted as saying, we've got the numbers, now it's just about us seeing what the market gives us. And they've definitely got the financial fair play stuff probably on their side at this stage with the Solanke transfer going out. And when we look at the squad, like the positionally, the numbers, the energy that's there, is pretty exciting. So Bournemouth are now one or two massive signings away, and this whole team becomes top 10 capable for me at any point in the video. If you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this as we cover all the headline moves throughout the summer transfer window as we prepare for what could be the biggest season of European football ever. And get into the comment section in this one and let me know, what is it Bournemouth need to take them into that top half of the table from where we find them today in the video. I'll be really excited to catch the comments on this one. And yeah, let's just get stuck straight into it. Now, I'm going to start off by saying, with the amount of options that Bournemouth have in the wide forward area, I'm not going to profess to say this is definitely going to be the starting 11, the best 11 or whatever. One thing that is clear now, but, is that Enes Ünal is the man for Bournemouth now that Solanke is gone. And it did kind of feel that when he was brought in January that was like a forward plan. That was a replacement situation for if and when Solanke was sold. And obviously he's now went for big money to Tottenham. And Ünal, this season, he is a striker that can get 15-20 goals with the right service if he stays fully fit in a team that is built towards feeding the striker. And with the amount of wide, and I know Satara's mainly featured at left back, bombing on and all the rest of it, but with the wide creative attacking options that they've got, I know Tav can play, this Tavernier can play both sides. I know most of these guys can play both sides to some extent, by the way. Semenyo, Brooks, Favre, these guys have all got a lot of great versatility in them. Even Traore could find himself out here ever so slightly. And this Jebsen's come in from Sheffield United, I want to say. So this is a guy that might be now the super sub striker. But in these forward areas, they've got a lot of numbers. They've got a lot of good players here. I'm not a big Kluivert fan. Sinisterra's okay. Otara, fine. Semenyo, fine. But there's still, it does feel like this is like a bottom half attacking situation. But when you look at the defence now, Neto's fine. Travers has got a bit of potential, but the defence now, Kerkez's been held on to. Let's see how that develops. But Kerkez, Huijsen, Zabarni, Max Aarons, or what could be the next incoming transfer, Julian Araujo. This is like a really credible back four that has a lot of energy, a lot of upside still. Some guys that have got a lot of their career still to go. And in an engine room, there's probably going to be like Christie and Cook. I've put Scott here for now. I just realised Cook wasn't actually on the board there. So if you've left a comment about Cook, sorry about that. Billing, even Tyler Adams, who's quite resilient, and I'm going to fight for my place or whatever. Like, again, really good depth, really good quality, similar enough profiles. I know Christie could play a bit higher up, and maybe he's going to be a supporting player for the forwards, but I think with Favre coming in, maybe he's a bit more suited to that. Maybe we'll see him out wide. I say there's still a lot to be determined in this Bournemouth team, but from the engine room and the defence, and I think the goalkeeper is good enough, like I said, like this is the basis, this is the foundation of a team that can now, with a couple of key world-class Champions League, I don't know what kind of level we're expecting here, but with a few guys that are on level above the rest of this team, Bournemouth will shock a lot of teams. They will beat a lot of teams as well, because Andoni Iraola's side is all about high energy, is about quick transition, and it's about players that really, give everything when they're on the pitch. And with what we've seen from Zabarni and Sinisi already, bringing Huijsen in here, who looks to be a defender who can really walk into midfield, can bang a shot from range, and is a really good defender to boot as well. It feels like that's the quality of depth that they're trying to build into the squad, the calibre of player they're looking to bring in. And in terms of the profile, you know, again, a lot of these guys are in their mid-20s or so. They've still got more of their career in front of them than behind them. Then it will be really interesting to see where they go next, because the route to goal is pretty clear. They're going to have two defenders that like to defend, and then if the likes of Kerkez or Satara or whoever, and then Araujo or Aarons, these are fullbacks on both sides of the pitch that are going to be overlapping, that are going to be bombing on and giving the attack extra options in the wide areas, certainly, which then does feed into the likes of Unal, previously Solanke, Christie, whoever else wants to come in and support from the middle areas here to get some goals and all the rest of it. And that's not going to change. You know, they've got plenty of options to play in the attacking wide areas here, like we've seen. And now that they've got, you know, I don't know if you want to factor Otara in as a left back or something like that, but for me, I think this is maybe the way it goes. Again, happy to have the comments correct me on this one easily. But they've got security and depth that if Araujo doesn't hit the ground running or gets injured or something, Aarons is like capable enough for the most part. And really, when I look at the likes of, I don't know, like West Ham, Aston Villa, Newcastle, actually those three teams in particular, that I didn't really mean this, but those three teams in particular on their kind of rise from coming out of the bottom half, the mid-table, to trying to get into the top half of the table and get into European football. West Ham signed Lucas Paqueta. Newcastle signed Bruno Guimaraes. Aston Villa, you know, maybe a wee bit before that period, but they brought in Douglas Luiz, who they've now sold. So that's the kind of thing I think this Bournemouth team is now missing, is that clear Champions League level midfielder who's an all-action guy that'll help you win matches, stop you losing them, and really does, because they get around the pitch so much, they're on the ball so often, they really do lift the quality of play and subsequently the rest of the teammates that they've got around them. Is there a Brazilian international midfielder around there that Bournemouth could go for? I don't know, but they've definitely got the finances on their side now, that whoever Andoni Iraola does identify to bring in, I suspect he might try to go back to La Liga again, like we've seen with a few of these players, maybe somewhere else on the continent. But I would think he's going to bring somebody from out with the Premier League, and maybe it's another striker. Maybe you need another high-quality striker to cover for Unal. But yeah, I would like to see a big upgrade in midfield somewhere, a big quality Champions League level player that wants to see you know, his Premier League career kick off, and a Bournemouth team that's got attacking wingers to burn, like there's so many of them, a good engine room with cover, attacking fullbacks, two to a position on both sides of the pitch. Like, this just screams like a team that is going to be in your face. It's going to be in the final third. There's going to be scoring goals and really causing a lot of upsets ultimately. And they become upsets until then you see Bournemouth sitting in 8th or 7th consistently throughout the season. And then, you know, the sky's the limit from there. Maybe they could have a pretty significant cup run to boot as well. But I do think that, you know, the Araujo one made me want to just, we didn't do the video for Huijsen, so I thought I would talk about that. And then Solanke leaving, it's like, yeah, the spring is coiled now for me at Bournemouth, and it is like they've got the numbers, they've got quality. Really, like the best 11 here is quite arguable. A lot of these guys are on the same kind of level, give or take. And now it's like, wow, where is the next step for them? Who are they going to bring in next? And who do they see as the guy that could like bring them into that top half of the table, have them hunting down for European spots, have them getting to semi-finals of cups or even finals, that kind of thing? That'll be really exciting and really interesting to see, because I think Bournemouth fans, Premier League fans, neutral observers or whatever, are all quite excited about the results Andoni Iraola was getting last season, and now that he's got a significant wedge in his pocket and the squad is built, like the squad is built, it's now about getting the stars, it's about going and getting the guys that will make the difference and push Bournemouth further on and beyond from their competitors. I'm looking forward to catching the comment section on this one. I'll see what you guys think what the best 11 currently does look like, as well as who's missing and what sort of transfers Bournemouth need to make if they are going to be a top half team, if they are going to be that wildcard team. So don't forget to drop those comments down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, of course. On screen and now some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this one, of course. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one.